and welcome to the 2020 Gramophone Classical Music Awards, and indeed welcome to Glyndebourne. We're delighted to be here because this was one of the first places in the UK where live music returned in front of a socially distanced audience. And these gardens have played host to the London Philharmonic and Orchestra of the Age of Enlightenment over the past few weeks, as Glyndebourne swiftly mounted a much foreshortened musical season. A season that unusually for Glyndebourne was outdoors and included concerts as well as opera. This year, the Gramophone Awards are presented again in association with Apple Music, with whom we've been working for the past few months on our Orchestra of the Year campaign. With Gutzwiller et compagnie, Banquiers, who've been great supporters of the awards over the years. And finally, we're delighted to welcome our official charity partner, Help Musicians UK, for whom we were very happy earlier in the year to raise money with our Gramophone Charity Lockdown Gala. And I'm proud to sport a pin badge for Music Minds Matter, Help Musicians support service for musicians who are struggling to cope or simply want someone to talk to. The awards are a once-a-year opportunity to salute the musicians who keep our lives incredibly rich. And however we listen to our music, the method of making it doesn't really change. Imagination, flair, personality, inquisitiveness, artistry are all the elements that come together to create the award-winning formula. 10 albums emerged from a voting process that lasts throughout the spring and early summer, a process undertaken by Gramophone's peerless group of critics, well over 40 of them. And from those 10 winning albums, one will be named Recording of the Year at the end of this ceremony. Well, I'm not introducing the awards all on my own, and I'm thrilled to be joined by a singer who I first encountered in Vienna the day she created the title role in Olga Neuwirth's brand new opera Orlando. Then she travelled to New York and created a sensation as Nerone in Handel's Agrippina at the Met. And this year also saw the release of her second album for Alpha, a programme of Baroque cantatas entitled Arianna. She's the mezzo Kate Lindsay, and she was here at Glyndebourne this summer singing in the UK's first post-lockdown fully staged opera, Offenbach's Mesdames de la Halle, renamed with its very witty English libretto by Stephen Place, In the Market for Love. Here's Kate a few weeks ago as Harry Coe.
My Sybolette, cruel Cupid's sights are sent. My Sybolette, oh, how hopeless can it get? I tremble when you look my way, can't find the proper words to say. I tremble when you look my way, can't find the proper words to say. My heart goes 50 shades of blue. It beats for you, for you, for you. My heart goes 50 shades of blue. It beats only for you.
That was Kate Lindsay with the London Philharmonic Orchestra, conducted by Glyndebourne's music director Robin Ticciati. And Kate joins me to steer us through the awards. It must be so nice to have been singing again.
It's so nice to be singing again, so nice to have something to do. Actually, I have to say the nicest thing about that experience was being able to get back into a room with other artists and be creating together again, because that was the thing that I was missing the most. And I know for so many other artists, it's a similar feeling that that we receive each other's energy and we work off of each other's energy, and that's the thing that we all miss, is sharing in that experience.
And it was such a fun piece. I mean, it was a real sort of ensemble number.
Yeah, what I loved about this piece and what Glyndebourne did this summer was that they really chose to do something that was lighthearted and fun in a time when so many of us need a little bit of an escape from the cold, hard reality of what we're living, and we could laugh at it a bit because we had to maintain the social distancing within the staging as well, and we used that within the production. And so we were able to laugh a little bit at some of the circumstances that we're struggling with.
Because you had quite a start to the year, because there was that mad Olga Neuwirth's Orlando in Vienna, which I came to see, which was just incredible. And then that stunning production of Agrippina at the Met.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine from where we were at that time, December, January, sort of where we would be now? It's really crazy to think back, but it was a really great few months, and we managed to just get through the Agrippina at the Met. Closed, I think, on March the 7th, and then just a few days later, sadly, everything in New York City started to shut down, as well as throughout the world. And the reality changed quite a bit at that point. But
now the music is starting again.
It is, and we're finding new and really interesting ways to continue to create, continue to collaborate. And I'm sort of excited by this, actually, because I think it's putting us in a position artistically to really think outside the box. And it's putting the impetus as well into artists' hands a bit more. These little ideas that we've considered in the past, now there might be more of a medium to really explore some of these individual projects that we've always wondered if we could take it off the ground.
Well, let's celebrate some of the projects of the last
Yes.
period, sort of mid-year to mid-year, and on with the awards.
Okay.
Now, one composer who was to have been the centrepiece of so much music making this year is, of course, Ludwig van Beethoven, born 250 years ago this year. Well, we thought we'd mark the anniversary with a one-off award to honour one of the finest Beethoven recordings of 2020.
And from the numerous recordings of the symphonies, sonatas, string quartets, and fidelios, Gramophone selected a recording of 2 of the piano concertos, numbers 2 and 5, with the pianist Martin Helmchen joining the Deutsches Symphonieorchester Berlin and Andrew Manzi.
Reviewing the album in Gramophone, Michel Assay said that it stands high and proud for its artistry, poetry, stylish musicianship, and perhaps above all, rapport between soloist and conductor. This really does feel like a meeting of minds.
Hello, this is Martin Helmchen. I'm absolutely thrilled about an award for our Beethoven project with Andrew Manzi and DSO Berlin on Alpha. The Beethoven piano concertos, that's of course repertoire which is absolutely essential in every pianist's life. Music that I've been growing up with from my early childhood onwards, with all the great recordings being available, playing this music myself over the years. So obviously, recording something like this only makes sense in a mutual spirit of curiosity, willing to find these pieces as if they were new to us and discover the hidden mysteries which are still there. And that was exactly the spirit that made this whole project, especially the collaboration with Andrew, the rehearsal work with my great friends at DSO, so inspiring and so exciting. It was a pure joy. And also, having the opportunity to make such recordings nowadays, I find something very special, because when I started playing about 20 years ago, everybody said this concept will die out very soon. Nobody will make this type of recordings anymore. But luckily it hasn't died. There is a label like Alpha. There is a director like Didier Martin with such clear artistic vision who makes these things possible. It's a privilege and I'm very grateful to be part of it. Thank you also Gramophone magazine for sharing this passion in new recordings of this ever relevant and ever beautiful music.
And of course, the DSO Berlin is the orchestra headed by Glyndebourne's music director, Robin Ticciati. And it was also one of the 10 orchestras nominated for this year's Orchestra of the Year award. More about that in a moment. Another of the nominated ensembles was the City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra, timely as it has just celebrated its centenary. So it's perfectly timed that the CBSO and its music director, Mirga Gražinytė-Tyla, won our next category, Orchestral, sponsored by Medici TV.
For her debut album for Deutsche Grammophon, Mirka chose two symphonies by the Polish-born Soviet composer Mieczysław Weinberg, whose centenary fell last year. Reviewing the album of symphonies, numbers 2 and 21, Weinberg authority David Fanning claimed this has to be one of the most important symphonic releases of the year, and his fellow jurors clearly thought the same.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express my gratitude receiving the Gramophone Award for the album with symphonies by Mieczysław Weinberg. It is my pleasure to share this award with a great team: the City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra, Camerata Baltica, many soloists from both orchestras, and in front of us all, Gidon Kremer. Also, our wonderful sound masters, Alexandra and Vilus Kerei, as well the Adam Mickiewicz Institute for their financial support, and of course the Yellow Label, Deutsche Grammophon, for being open to enable such a project.
The CBSO was one of 10 orchestras nominated for this year's Orchestra of the Year Award, presented with Apple Music.
Gramophone nominated 10 orchestras whose work on record struck us as being particularly impressive over the course of the 12 months from last June to this May. We made a series of Apple Music playlists and a couple of podcasts, and then we passed the big decision to music lovers all over the world, and more than 40,000 votes were cast for ensembles from the USA, Russia, the UK, France, Germany, Norway, and Japan. Well, to whet your appetite for our Orchestra of the Year 2020, here are the top 3 orchestras to have emerged from the voting. And all will be revealed later.
Every year, Gramophone honors an artist whose life's work has made a huge impact on the musical world. Down the years, it has saluted the likes of Leontine Price, Nema Järvi, Alfred Brindle, Mirella Freni, Emma Kirkby, Neville Mariner, and many more. But Gramophone hasn't recognized a violinist in this category since Isaac Stern 21 years ago. So let's put that right.
For 2020, Gramophone is honouring Itzhak Perlman, 75 just a few weeks ago and one of the greatest violinists on the planet. Ever since taking the world by storm as a teenager, his artistry, musicianship, and the sheer beauty and power of his sound have set him apart. He stands alone today not only as a great musician, but also as an example of someone who has triumphed over physical adversity to take his place at the very summit of his profession. But don't just take my word for it.
Itzhak, I'm speaking to you here from my home in Los Angeles and wishing I could be with you to celebrate your receiving the Gramophone Award. This award is certainly a reflection of the decades of many great recordings that you've made. Probably you've made more recordings of the top and vast violin repertoire than any violinist living or not. And it's in recognition of this great work that this, obviously, award comes to you, as it should. I hope you can enjoy the significance of it and recognize, as you must, these recordings have reached millions of people around the world who love you and love the spirit of your art that you've given them for so long. And also for me personally, Itzhak, I wish for you many, many years of continued great concert giving in your work, and also many years to continue to develop the Perlman School, where you've invited young violinists, string players, to come to study with you and be in your ambiance and your aura, so that you can pass on the great traditions of the art that you've represented so well for so long. So enjoy this recognition, Itzhak. You certainly deserve it, and I send you my personal great affection and much love to you and to Toby for continued good health and great work. We love you.
Can you imagine what happens if you play like this very, very fast and you have an echo between each note? You can't hear anything. I once played Paganini number 5, very fast. And I once heard a tape of it in a very echoey hall, and it sounded like, I know I played every note.
Hi, Mr. P. A huge congratulations to you for receiving this incredible award from the Gramophone magazine. I can't think of anyone more deserving of this award, and I remember listening to your recordings when I was just a little kid, before I even understood truly who you were and the impact that you've had on classical music. Little did I know years later I would have the opportunity to study with you at Juilliard, and I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for everything you've done for me, for all of the other students who've had the chance to study at the Perlman Music Program, and of course all that you've done for the classical music world at large. I mean, where would we be without all of the legendary recordings that you've produced? So a huge congratulations to you again, and sending you all the best wishes. Before I go, I'll tell a quick story of the first time we met. I don't know if you remember, but this was my first day of my first summer at the Perlman Music Program in 2011. And I was just shaking in my boots. I was so nervous to meet you, the greatest violinist who's ever lived. And I walked into the cafeteria as we got ready to, as everyone got ready to be briefed about the activities over the course of the summer. And I remember walking up behind you in the lunch line. Of course, I was literally shaking, and I saw you put a huge pile of chicken nuggets on your plate, and instantly I was put at ease. I was like, okay, I'm home. He knows, he understands, I can relate to him. So thank you for inspiring me on that day, and of course on numerous occasions, countless occasions since then. And thank you so much again for all that you've done. Until I see you again in person, I wish you all the best, and congratulations again.
Wow, what a beautiful award. Thank you so very much, Gramophone, for this Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm so old that I remember with razor blades, they used to do the editing in the studios when we used to record. Actually took the tape and put the razor blade and cut the tape. And on occasion, I was awarded an extra note by mistake. Those were the days. Today, everything is digital. But in any case, it's been a long journey, and I think I'm very happy. And I also would like to thank John Williams and Randall Gooseby for this very touching and beautiful tributes to me. And anyway, thank you so very much. I'm very happy. I hope that maybe I could get some more records under my belt and get another one of those. Anyway, thank you very much.
Over the past few years, as the Gramophone Classical Music Awards have been streamed worldwide, we've invited previous winners back to perform at our annual ceremony. Well, just because we're not all gathered together, there's no reason why that tradition should stop. Stile Antico, who won our Early Music Award in 2009 and have scooped up a handful of Editor's Choice accolades down the years, were one of the choral ensembles who took part in Voces 8's Live from London Festival, streamed in HD from Wren's St Anne and St Agnes Church in the heart of the City of London. Well, while there, they recorded this especially for us. Stile Antico, and our thanks to them and the Voces 8 Foundation. And look out for more concerts this Christmas, and the entire season of Live from London series is available for catch-up until October the 31st.
Chamber music now, and an album that gathered together, as only a festival can do, some of the finest musicians of today. The cellist Nikolaus Altstedt assembled a superb group of players for his Lockenhaus Chamber Music Festival, and one of the concerts was recorded by Alpha Classics.
The violinists Wilde Frang and Barnabas Keleman, viola player Lawrence Power, cellist Nikolaus Altstedt, and pianist Alexander Lonquich came together to play Bela Bartok's piano quintet and Sándor Veres's string trio. What makes this unmissable is the Veres trio, wrote Rob Cowan, a masterpiece and a performance to match. I've already penciled it in as a contender for next year's Gramophone Awards. Well, he was absolutely right.
We are very happy and grateful to receive the Gramophone Award this year for our CD with works by Sándor Veres and Béla Bartók. This award means a lot to us. It has been a journey for almost a decade, from discovering, studying, playing, recording and living with these two masterpieces. And I want to give my heartfelt thanks to everyone who made it possible. Didier Martin, Alpha Classics, Dazio Foundation, Zurich, Gesa Romberg, Kammermusik Fest Lockenhaus, Claudio Veres for all your help and support and your wonderful text, and mostly to all my beloved, admired, dear friends and colleagues, Wilde Frank, Kotalin Kukash, Barnabas Kellerman, Lawrence Power and Alexander Longquist. I hope this music will inspire many people to be played more and spread it all over the world. Thank you very much.
Concerto next, and this year the category is sponsored by Classic FM.
The world's greatest music.
Join me, Alexander Armstrong, weekdays from 9 a.m. on Classic FM.
This year, the award goes to a pianist who made a spectacular entry into the awards in 2012 as both Instrumental Award winner and Young Artist of the Year. Well, still in his 20s, he returns to take the Concerto Award. His name is Benjamin Grosvenor.
Joined by the Royal Scottish National Orchestra and Elim Chan, his recording of the 2 Chopin piano concertos for Decca drew the comment from our reviewer Harriet Smith: "It is the kind of recording that makes you rethink these works and appreciate them all over again."
I'm really happy and honoured to receive this award for my recording of the Chopin Piano Concerti. These works have been important to me from a very young age, and it was an enormous pleasure to record them last year with such sympathetic partners as Elim Chan and the Royal Scottish National Orchestra. I'd like to thank them, producer John Fraser, engineer Philip Siney, and piano technician Peter Salisbury, as well as the whole team of people at Decca Classics for making this recording happen.
Now, a few weeks ago, we caught up with Benjamin at Yamaha's showroom in London, where he played one of Ginasterra's Danzas Argentinas, the Danza della Mosa Danosa, the dance of the beautiful maiden, just for us.
some singing next, and choral music. This year, the award went to a recording of J.S. Bach's St. Matthew Passion by Bach Collegium Japan, conducted by Masaki Suzuki, their second recording of the work for bis.
With soloists that include Benjamin Bruns as the evangelist and Christian Immler as Christus, this is a recording that, wrote Jonathan Freeman Atwood, takes us on a journey which will continually enthrall, move and surprise.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Masaki Suzuki. I would like to greet from Far East. We have now got wonderful news about the Gramophone Award. In the name of Bach Collegium Japan, I would like to thank you very much. We appreciate very much, and you truly encouraged us for future activity. So, as you might know, this year is the 30th anniversary of Bach Collegium Japan, and also 25 years of collaboration of BCJ and BIS, Swedish CD company. So, this year was supposed to be celebrated greatly, but actually it turned out completely different. Because of COVID-19. So I would like to dedicate this wonderful music of Bach to all the victims and their families, and also the doctors and the medical workers fighting against the virus. Thank you very much for everything.
The Gramophone Classical Music Awards, ever since their foundation in 1977, have always celebrated the ancient and the modern music from pre-1600, early music, and music from the past 10 years, contemporary. This year, the award is sponsored by PPL, the organisation that ensures that the performers of music are paid when their music is used in public, something that's even more vital in these difficult times. So here, from either end of the extraordinary continuum that we call classical music, are those two award winners. One of the most hotly contested categories is always the instrumental category, and this year was no exception, with recordings by Stephen Huff, Stephen Osborne and Marc-André Hamelin from the Hyperion stable, vying with albums by Beatrice Rana, Paul Wee and Igor Levit.
And in the end, it was Igor Levit's set of the complete Beethoven piano sonatas for Sony Classical that took the award. Harriet Smith wrote, "It's a magnificent achievement."
Well, Igor Levit's not going away with just one award this year. He's also collecting our Artist of the Year award, sponsored this year by Raymond Weil. Igor Levit was in London recently for a Wigmore Hall concert, and the hall's director, John Gilhooly, did the honours on our behalf.
Igor, I'm delighted to present you with this award for the complete Beethoven sonatas on Sony. Of course, you played all the Beethoven sonatas here many years ago in your mid-20s, very young for a pianist, but we were delighted to do that, and indeed it has been, it was an acclaimed series. We're very sorry that you can't do it again this year because of the pandemic, but we will reschedule in due course. But in the meantime, it's just wonderful to present you with this richly deserved instrumental award from Gramophone.
Thank you, dear John. Thank you to the Gramophone magazine, to the readers, you listeners, audiences, supporters, everybody. This means so much to me. It means so much to me to receive this award here on this very stage. As you, John, mentioned about 5 years ago, I believe, I played my very first Beethoven cycle here in London, and it was really an unforgettable experience from the very first concert on. I was nervous as heck before the first one, and then I remember sort of in the middle of the first movement of the F minor sonata. By the way, it was the very same program I'm about to play tonight. It felt really like an emotional and physical explosion, which I remember very well until this very day. This really means so much. This recording means so much to me, the entire process, and so to receive this from the Gramophone magazine is a true delight. Thank you, everybody, and I very much hope to see you all soon again, in person, in this very hall.
New freelancer, caliber RW1212, Raymond Weil, Genève.
Well, Igor, this time I have a citation to read because we've got a surprise for you. I have the added honour of presenting you with Gramophone's Artist of the Year Award 2020, sponsored by Raymond Weil. In honouring you with this award, Gramophone salutes not only your role as one of the finest pianists of our day, but also for your service and the service that you undertake for so many composers, past and present, whose music deserves to be heard more often. Bissoni and Ronald Stevenson, to name just two that you champion. Your tireless series of house concerts during lockdown earlier in the year connected with so many people around the world and provided a source of musical and spiritual nourishment at a time when music fell silent. And Gramophone also salutes you and the willingness with which you used your voice as an artist, both on and off stage, to speak out about so many of the injustices in our world. Congratulations, Igor. I'm really pleased to present you with the Artist of the Year from Gramophone. Wonderful award.
Now that's a surprise. Thank you so much. It leaves me a little speechless. I'm not often speechless, as you know better than anybody else probably. What can I say? I don't know where to start. So let me just emphasize one of the moments mentioned in the citation, which is the time I was playing the house concerts. I'm sure this is the truth, and for everybody, for you, for me, for you, for everybody around the world, that this time and this experience, this pandemic, will change us. Will change the way we are, will change the way we work, the way we communicate, the way we travel, the way we see each other, the way we treat each other. it definitely did change me. And it sounds like the time is over. We are still very much in the middle of the pandemic. So God knows where we are heading to. But the experience over these 52 days non-stop playing, which I had with the audiences, and I really mean it, these are real people sitting there on the other line, maybe not in the hall, in their homes, wherever they were, gifting me, us, the artists, you, gifting us with the single most important thing they have in life, which is their time. This is what they do every single day here in the hall. They gift you and me with their time. To realize this was incredibly precious. And yes, I haven't seen a single one of these people in person, but I felt the greatest and the deepest connection imaginable. The letters I received, the mails, the voicemails, whatever, the tweets, everything. And really, it was one of the most tender and precious experiences of my entire life, which I will never forget. I kind of miss it. And so, I can't say more than that. I'm humbled and I'm touched and eternally grateful for that. And thank you all very, very much.
And we'll be hearing some Beethoven from Igor a little later. But for now, a reminder of another superb pianist, the recipient of last year's Recording of the Year for his album of concertos by Saint-Saëns, Bertrand Chamayou. His new recording, entitled Good Night, is out in a few days. Here's a taster.
Though the awards turn the attention, rightly, on the artists and their music making, it's good to be reminded from time to time of the people who bring those projects to life, who have the vision, the faith, the recording know-how, and the determination to make them succeed. This year, we're honouring a man who has, since 1973, cultivated one of the most impressive classical recording catalogues. His taste is astoundingly broad, from the medieval to the modern, from the biggest of symphonic works to a single piano, recorded with the utmost fidelity. He's nurtured many generations of musicians, and if he has the faith in an artist, he signs up for the long haul, not just a couple of recordings. Numerous artists owe their global recognition to the recordings that he has made with them. His ear for quality and longevity is highly tuned.
The recipient of the 2020 Special Achievement Award is Robert von Barr, and his label is BIS, one of the glories of Sweden's rich musical life. We asked a few of his artists to pay tribute.
Hello, Robert, and congratulations for your Gramophone Award. I'm thinking about those over 30 years when we started the first recording in Lahti, Finland. We both know that my career would not have been the same without your help and without collaboration with BIS and you. So, once again, thank you very much and congratulations.
I travelled to Sweden to record Takemitsu's piano music, produced by Robert von Barr in 1996. It was my first CD for BIS. Before we finished recording the Takemitsu, Robert told me to think of the next project. Here I am in 2020, still continuing to work with BIS. Robert is simply a superhuman. Everything about him is extraordinary and unique. Intelligence, courage, big heart, childlike charm, and energy to make things happen. His passion carried him to the top of the music industry. Congratulations, Robert. Congratulations, BIS. I raise a glass to you.
Hi, Robert. It's wonderful to hear that you have been awarded with this year's Gramophone Special Achievement Award. If there's anyone in the music industry who absolutely deserves this, it's got to be you. It makes me really proud to be part of this all, to be a member of the wonderful BIS family. And I wish you a wonderful day. Enjoy it, and congratulations.
Hi, Robert. Andrew Litton here, proud to join the undoubted avalanche of well-deserved congratulations flowing your way. Ever since I first met you in 1988 while you were recording Rite of Spring with the great Sixten Ehrling, I knew you were a genius. I never imagined that 25 years later I would be lucky enough to start recording for you. 24 collaborations later, I still marvel at your amazing sonics. The ability to truly capture an orchestra sound and therefore soul. These are things that performers truly treasure. You richly deserve this award. Thank you for all you've done for great music, preserving it for posterity in the most meticulous and exacting way. I send you my love and best wishes from New York. Long live Robert von Barr. Skål!
Robert von Barr has been a huge support and such a positive influence to so many musicians like myself. The loyalty within BIS is reflected both in Robert's artists, many having recorded over decades, and from his extraordinary in-house team. In my 20s, I discovered BIS's seminal recordings of Emma Kirkby, Jacob Lindberg, Masaki Suzuki, to name a few, and they awakened a desire to develop my craft in early music. BIS's vast catalogue will continue to inspire future generations. Thank you for all you have done, Robert, and for your contribution to music.
Hey, Robert, congratulations. This is amazing. I'm really happy for you, and even if it's 100% true, it's true. You made a huge contribution for recordings and music in general, and I think it's part, of course, of your hard work, but most of all that after all these years you still think with your ears and heart, and this is invaluable. And can't thank you enough for trusting me early. So yeah, let's have a lot of great projects and enjoy your nights, and big hugs. Bye.
Dear Robert, my heartfelt congratulations on being awarded the Special Achievement Award. Although I'm not surprised in the slightest, if anyone deserves the award, it is definitely you, since you have not only achieved so much, but are also very special. You are not only a prime example of how to run a successful business against all the odds, but are also somewhat of a role model, in many respects, as a person, particularly when it comes to honesty and personal principles. On a personal note, I'm also very grateful that you and Beast believed in me since the very beginning of my career. Every record I made for Beast has been a life story in its own right, and in my biased opinion, only Beast could have provided such a platform for a young artist, with its highest quality team of producers and never saving when it comes to quality. Maybe saving in other areas, and that is okay. That is why we're still able to record. I wish you many years of health from the bottom of my heart. Congratulations, Robert.
Hello all. I'm Robert von Barr, head of BIS Records in Sweden, and I'm sitting here with my Corona hairdo and having the enviable task of saying thank you for this award. I note that this award this year hasn't been bestowed upon a performing artist, but rather somebody on the other side of the microphone, and that's a recording producer. And I prefer to take this as a tribute, not only to me, but to all classical record producers that there are. And there are quite a number of them, and very good too. I'm thinking about, without naming everybody, people like Bernard Coutaz, who created and led Harmonia Mundi France for more than 50 years. The daredevil Manfred Eicher at ECM Records in Munich. The father-son combinations of Simon and Ted Perry, rather Ted and Simon Perry, I should say, from Hyperion, and Brian and Ralph Cousins for Chandos. The industrialists like Charles Andreasen, who has created the Alpha Group, and that's a fantastic label, by the way. And then also the unique, the one and only, the person who has done more for the recording industry any time in the history of recording music, except Thomas Alva Edison. I'm of course referring to Klaus Heimann at Naxos. It's been my great pleasure to work with these people, to get to know them, to befriend them, to compete with them, to be inspired by them, and hopefully also having inspired some of them myself. I'm not alone. I'm sitting here alone, but I'm not alone. I wouldn't be here unless it were for the dedicated and skillful work of my collaborators, my staff, my partners. Like, and I have to mention him, Robert Suff, who is the artist and repertoire manager of BIS and also our senior producer. And the 5 guys and dolls at Take 5 who all started to cut their teeth with BIS, learning the trade here and then starting out alone. They are fantastic. And I can't not mention my dearest Sharon Bezali von Barr, who combines being the best flutist this world has ever heard with also being the inventor of the new packaging system we have, the BIS EcoPack, that has gotten rid of all plastic and given a packaging of a CD or SACD that is much more beautiful than the others, almost as beautiful as she is. I have to conclude by thanking Gramophone and the jury for bestowing this great honor upon me. I'm truly flattered. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Dearest Robert, Joseph and I are here at Pot and Hall doing one of our favourite things, which is making a record for you, or should I say SACD. ever since I made my first recording for BIS with Bach Collegium Japan, I felt like part of the BIS family. And I think that in addition to your commitment to the quality of the music, your passion for the business and your humour, we all look forward to receiving your emails. What's been extraordinary has been your unwavering support, and especially over the last 6 months, actually, the way you've sought to reassure your artists and to help us in any way you can. It's invaluable, and you're one in a million. Schubert set Schauber's text in praise of music and how it enriches our lives, which also seems very pertinent at the moment. And Joseph and I would like to sing that for you. Well, I'll sing it. He's very good at playing the piano. And as a thank you to you.
And we've another BIS artist still to come. But now we've opera, sponsored by Gutzwiller et Compagnie, Banquiers. The Opera Award goes to Handel's Agrippina, with Joyce Di Donato in the title role. And this spectacular cast includes Elsa Benoit as Poppaea, Franco Fagioli as Nerone, Luca Pizzarone as Claudio, Gramophone's Young Artist of the Year, at least for a few more minutes, Jakub Józef Oliński as Ottone, and some very luxurious casting with Marie-Nicole Lemieux as Giunone. Maxim Emelianichev directs Il Pomodoro on this errato recording. Now, Handel's Agrippina is something you know a bit about, having performed it at the Met. I mean, tell me about the opera. I mean, it's full of amazing characters.
It's full of amazing characters, twists and turns, conniving between parties, everyone trying to one-up each other. And we had a great time doing this at the Met because all of us were so involved with the story and loved working with each other. And I'm really excited that Joyce has won this award, having watched her up close kill it in this role. It's quite special.
Thank you so much, dear Kate, the son who can do no wrong, no matter how bad he is. Thank you so much, Kate, Lindsay, and to my beloved Gramophone family. Of course, it goes without saying that I miss being in the same room with you all at this moment in time, but it doesn't diminish what we've been doing behind the scenes, what we're doing in our lives today to come together and still bring music to the forefront of our lives, a place where we can find comfort and solace and try to work out some of the mania and the chaos that we see in the world around us. Speaking of mania and chaos, what a joy on behalf of the whole Agrippina family with Erato and Warner and Il Pomodoro and my extraordinary cast to accept this wonderful honor on everybody's behalf. We spent 10 intensive days working together to try and create this hybrid of high drama, high music, and something compelling that would make sense of this young Handel, unbridled, unfiltered in all of his creative genius, telling a story that is timeless, telling a story of greed and corruption and the fall of a civilization, something that we are well within our rights to study and to try to understand better. On behalf of Daniel Zalé, the incredible record producer who's been with me in so many occasions, Il Pomodoro, Maxim Emelianchev, whose genius just floods through this recording, and a cast who, for most of us, it was our first time encountering these crazy characters and this wonderful story. We gave our best, and it means so much for us to have that recognized and celebrated. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We hope there will be many more compelling recordings to come. And in the meantime, thank you for keeping the music alive. Thank you for celebrating all the work and the love and the passion that goes into these recordings. Thank you.
We are smack dab in the middle of the extraordinary process of I think it's an 8 or 9 day recording of Agrippina.
We are recording this fantastic piece of music and I'm super happy, and the whole cast actually is fantastic, you know.
It's fabulous. So when I say crazy things to them, like, oh, the end of this aria should be like she's winking on her way out to Popea, they know how to interpret that technically. And leading us all is Maxime at the cembalo, and the enthusiasm and the endless energy. It is really one of the great joys of my musical career to work with him.
We use many different instrumentation for the personaggi. We have organ, cembalo, archilute, cello, basso.
Let's stay with singing for a bit longer, and the Recital Award. This year, the award goes to an Alpha Classics recording by Sandrine Piot called Si j'ai aimé, a collection of orchestral songs with Le Concert de la Loge, directed by Julien Chauvin.
Good evening. I feel honored to be nominated for this prestigious ceremony for the record Si j'ai aimé, even though the current world situation prevents us from being able to meet in London. this record means a lot to me, as it features both famous but also unrecognized French composers such as Guilmant, Dubois, Godard, Martini, and Barr. The creation of this disc was only made possible thanks to the association of Alexandre Ratwicki and the Palazzetto Bruzan Foundation. I'd like to thank the orchestra, le Concert de la Loge, and its wonderful conductor Julien Chauvin for their talent and dedication. Last but not least, I'd like to address my most sincere gratitude to Didier Martin, for none of this would have been possible without their commitment. Thank you all who contributed and made this dream a reality.
The solo vocal category, sponsored this year by our hosts Glyndebourne, celebrates the art song, lieder, melody and so on. And this year it goes to a powerful work by Janacek, The Diary of One Who Disappeared. The singer on this Hyperion recording is the tenor Nicky Spence, and very much an equal partner here is the pianist Julius Drake.
Hello, I'm Nicky.
Hello, I'm Julius.
Thank you so much for this award. It's such a fantastic surprise. We've performed this piece many times, and to make the record itself is the cherry on the cake. And to be recognised like this, it's the sprinkles on the cake. We're sprinkle territory.
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, very grateful to Simon Perry for believing in the project, letting us make the record. Very grateful to our sponsors, and also very much so to our supporting team, Vaclava Huskova, the voice trio, and the clarinetist Victoria Samek.
It would be lovely to have been in a Moravian forest to make this message, but actually we're in blustery south East London, which has its charms as well.
Beautiful Deptford.
Yes, beautiful Deptford. And to collaborate with this lovely man here again, it's been an absolute joy. He's lovely.
Well, I can say the same. He's absolutely lovely too.
Let's do this again with some wine, shall we? Thank you very much.
When we were honouring Robert von Barr with a Special Achievement Award earlier, we mentioned his talent for spotting the stars of tomorrow. One pianist who was already a Beast recording artist when he won one of the highest profile musical competitions on the planet, the Grand Prix of the International Tchaikovsky competition last year, was Alexandre Kantorov. So, flying the Beast flag for Robert von Barr, here is Alexandre Kantorov. Now, if you've been paying attention to the labels involved so far, you might very well have a clue who's going to be collecting the 2020 Label of the Year Award. This is an award basically for exquisite taste, and anyone who signs up my co-host for a record contract is halfway there already. The Label of the Year Award goes to Alpha Classics and its hugely discerning A&R head Didier Martin. Whether persuading Kate to record Kurt Weill songs with the jazz pianist Baptiste Trintignant, or asking Martin Helgen to record all the Beethoven piano concertos, or Véronique Gens to sing Charpentier, or the Orchestra Nationale de Lille to record Mahler, or getting Douce Mémoire to make an album of music from 500 years ago, each piece matched to a different painting by Leonardo da Vinci. All these and many more have been brought to life by Alpha Classics this year. Well, Kate, you're an Alpha Classics artist, so you know Didier better than a lot of people. I mean, what's his special genius when it comes to A&R?
I think what's really struck me about working with Didier is how he really believes in each of his artists as individuals, and he really looks to the artist to express what they want to say through their music. So he really encourages us to program and create something that we can truly believe in, and he can then help guide us and sculpt us through those programs. And he's incredibly supportive, and that makes a huge difference when you move into such an intimate setting, making a recording.
And you jumped from Kurt Weill with Baptiste Trintignant to Baroque cantatas with Jonathan Cohen and Arcangelo. I mean, that's quite a jump, but that says a lot for Didier's sort of faith in you, I think.
It really does. He had never heard me sing anything within the repertoire of Kurt Weill, and he just presented it as a concept, as an idea. And I was quite shocked at what we were able to create through that, and he introduced me to Baptiste, and we really developed that relationship from there. But if it had not been for Didier, I would not have taken such a risky step, so to speak.
Well, a little bird tells me that you're probably going into the studio quite soon to make another record for Alpha Classics, so I hope that goes well.
Thank you.
Well, I know we're not alone in our admiration for this wonderful label. Here are a few of its artists.
Thank you very much for awarding us this magnificent Gramophone Award. It's a marvelous tribute to all of us, artists and collaborators, who've spared no effort to continue producing high-value cultural products.
Bah voilà, ça fait 5 ans de fidélité et d'amitié avec Alpha. C'est presque une famille, un label en fait.
You are the true house for artists. We feel welcome, we feel supported, you trust us, you take risks together with us. Congratulations to the very well-deserved Gramophone Award, the label of the year, but you are the label of my life.
I'm very proud to be part of this great team. Lunga vita ad Alpha.
Merci Gramophone. This award means a lot to me and to everybody at Alpha. I share it with all our artists, Alpha and Outer teams, RSK team in UK and all our distributors and partners.
J'espère qu'on trouvera bientôt la manière de pouvoir trouver un nouveau chemin dans ce nouveau millénaire et sûrement Alpha fera partie de ce nouveau monde.
Hello Alpha Recording. It's Santtu Matias Rouvali here speaking. I'm more than happy that I have been part of your team and this collaboration has been super fantastic.
Merci au label Alpha de réaliser mes rêves et bravo pour ce magnifique prix Gramophone et salutations depuis le sommet du Cervin.
Wow, un Gramophone Award, bravo, bravo Alpha pour cette récompense bien méritée et merci d'être là pour nous tous les artistes. Bravo encore, bravo Alpha.
Bravo Alpha.
Salut les amis. Eh ben le label Alpha Classique, c'est un vrai échange, c'est des idées, et puis on le fait pas, on le fait, et ben on le fait.
un très grand bravo à toute l'équipe de notre très chère maison de disques avec laquelle j'ai construit toute ma carrière.
What is a musician's hell? Not being able to perform live. Alpha were there to help us to regain the paradise which we had lost and to realize our dreams in the studio. Thank you ever so much.
I love the out-of-the-box thinking, interesting repertoire, unusual and sometimes totally mysterious directions that your company is taking. This is what the music world needs right now. Stay adventurous.
Label is when you label things, but Alpha is exactly the opposite. It's a home. It's a home for the musician.
Thank you for taking a chance on me and believing in all my crazy ideas. Bravo! Applause from Berlin.
Alpha, congratulations.
A is for Alpha, A is for Adventure, A is for Alchemy, A is for Amazing Music.
Congratulations, Alpha, for winning the 2020 Gramophone Label of the Year by being so creative, sustainable and diverse. I'm really proud to be a member of such a wonderful roster of artists.
Where people are working who really understand what art and classical music need. Love, strength and understanding.
Alpha, c'est ça. C'est la liberté totale. Je suis très très heureuse de faire partie de cette très belle famille Alpha.
Ce qui est vraiment génial avec Alpha Classics, c'est que la ligne directrice, c'est l'artistique, c'est le choix du programme. Et ça, pour un musicien, un interprète, c'est quelque chose d'extrêmement précieux. Alors longue vie à Alpha Classics.
Nice to see you again, Gramophone Magazine, for this award ceremony. And this time, you've made a great choice again.
Je suis heureux de célébrer cet ambassadeur de la musique, de la poésie, de la beauté dans le monde, sans lesquels, eh bien, tout simplement, il n'y a pas de liberté.
Time now to recognize talent from a new generation. And I'm delighted that Gramophone's Young Artist of the Year is a singer. This year, once again, the category is presented in partnership with that wonderful and inspiring musical charity, Noordhof Robbins.
To followers of country house and summer opera in the UK, her name and talent will be familiar. A recipient of a Guildhall Gold Medal, a Kathleen Ferrier Awards First Prize winner, a member of the Young Artist Programme at Houston Grand Opera, a UK Critics Circle Emerging Talent Award, all are testament to her artistry. But it's been on the stage that she's won her most loyal followers, as Tatiana, Lisa, Tosca, Madame Butterfly, Mimi and many more. And only a few weeks ago, she appeared in one of the BBC's proms singing Samuel Barber, and recently with ENO at Alexandra Palace in La Bohème. This year saw her debut solo release, a collection of Slavic songs with the pianist Lada Valeshova for Orchid Classics. Remember the name, wrote Mark Pullinger reviewing the album. You'll not forget the voice.
And coming from a country famed for producing wonderful singers, Wales, her name is Natalia Romaniu.
Musica
Gramophone, and thank you so very much for awarding me the Young Artist of the Year. I'm hugely honoured to accept this award. Thank you. I think this privilege doesn't come without a wealth of support from very many special people who have shaped me into the young artist I am today. And I want to begin by thanking everyone who supported my debut recital solo CD this year. Arian, Voyage of a Slavic Soul was released during lockdown. We did it. Thank you so much to all the sponsors. Thank you to Matt Tressler at Orchid Classics, to Dan Ross-Brown at Artium Media, and to Patrick Allen at Opera Omnia, who made the CD an absolute joy to record. But perhaps the biggest thanks of all go to my wonderful partner in crime, Lauda Valesheva, who I love dearly, not only as a friend, but possibly one of the best musicians I've ever had the privilege of working with. Thank you, Lauda, from the very bottom of my heart. I also must thank the UK opera companies for allowing me the wonderful opportunities I've had so far to play such fantastic roles. So special thanks truly go to Scottish Opera, Opera Holland Park, Welsh National Opera, Grange Park Opera, and of course Garsington Opera and English National Opera. Thank you very much. I think as a young artist, it's very important to have a very concrete team around you, and I must thank them too, because they have shaped the artist and musician that I am today. And those people are Michael Pollock, Fiona McSherry, and my wonderful teacher, Sherman Lowe. Thank you. And of course, the person who perhaps keeps me, focused and on the straight and narrow is my wonderful agent, Isla Mendel-Perkins at Intermusica, whose love, faith and commitment just make this job so much easier. So thank you, Isla, from the bottom of my heart for your continued friendship, love, and for steering me in the right direction. Thank you so much. And thank you, Gramophone. I'm completely honoured. What can I say? Thanks.
Orchestra of the Year is a relatively new award which we present with Apple Music. 2 years ago it went to the Seattle Symphony and last year to the Hong Kong Philharmonic. It's the only public vote, and earlier this year Gramophone's editors produced a shortlist of 10 ensembles whose work on record had made quite an impact on us and our critics. We created a series of Apple Music playlists and passed the voting over to you, and more than 40,000 votes were cast, almost twice as many as last year.
Well, securing about a third of all the votes was a great American orchestra, an ensemble with a spectacular history, and now in the care of Yannick Nézet-Séguin, it is of course the Philadelphia Orchestra.
Hello everybody. On behalf of everyone at the Philadelphia Orchestra, thank you for this extraordinary honor. I want to congratulate first our fellow nominees and extend our deepest gratitude to our beloved fans all across the globe. It's amazing how you all came together and voted for us. You know, this award is decided entirely by you, the public vote, and that means the world to us. We strive every day to be the orchestra you are proud to call my Philadelphia Orchestra. It's particularly significant to feel this special connection with our fans during this very difficult moment in time all over the world, when the necessary protocols for health and safety have kept all of us apart physically. The Philadelphia Orchestra has remained resolute and very resilient throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, and we're very proud to have kept music alive at a time when people have needed it the most. On March 12th, we may have performed a concert to an empty Verizon Hall, but we could feel your presence with us, and it has inspired us every day since. Now, I'm so happy to say that we're creating new concerts again on our digital stage, and we're very much looking forward to the time when you can rejoin us in person, when full musical life returns. And it will. This is only an intermission, a very long one, but an intermission. Gramophone has said that the Orchestra of the Year award celebrates collaborative music making at the highest level. Collaboration is truly part of the Philadelphia Orchestra's DNA. Of course, the orchestra is known for its incredible artistry and its legendary Philadelphia sound. But what defines that sound and what distinguishes our work is the generosity of spirit evident in all that we do, and an expansive, forward-looking vision of the orchestra and of the important place of orchestral music in contemporary society. The Philadelphia Orchestra is more than just an orchestra. This is a group, a family of people dedicated to bringing joy and hope through music to our communities at home and around the globe, in person and also now online. Collaborative music making is more than just the beautiful relationship between a conductor and the orchestra. It involves each one of you. You inspire us to keep innovating and to keep connecting ever more deeply. We have an incredible fall 2020 season already underway, which reflects and responds to our world now. It showcases the Philadelphia Orchestra's commitment to music of the highest artistic caliber and of deep civic purpose and social responsibility. We hope you will all continue to join us on this journey. Thank you again for this tremendous honor. We're so proud to be your Gramophone Orchestra of the Year.
We're nearing the end of this year's awards and have a change of scenery. We're in the theatre itself at Glyndebourne, and we've two guest presenters who are, of course, our hosts here at Glyndebourne, Gus Christie and his wife, the soprano Danielle Denise, who co-hosted the awards with me some years back. Well, Gus, thank you so much for hosting us here at Glyndebourne this year. Opera is returning to the theatre quite soon.
It is. In a few days, we'll be opening up Offenbach's Mesdames de la Halle, or In the Market for Love, in the new English translation, which we did during the summer in the Gardens, and Kate was Harry Coe and returns to sing the role with some of the other cast members, and we're very excited about having opera back in here, having been closed all summer. We can get 350 people into our auditorium, which seats 1,200. So it is the green shoots, and we hope that we move on to stage 5 very soon so we can get more people in.
Absolutely. Well, long may the green shoots continue to grow.
Indeed.
The Concept Album Award is sponsored again by Classical Next, the annual classical music industry gathering. As tastes change and artists and companies explore more imaginative programs, Gramophone wanted to recognize the kind of flair demonstrated.
Last year, the guitarist Sean Shibe took the award for his Delphian album Soft Loud, a blend of ancient and modern, intimate and shattering, acoustic and electric. Gus, would you like to reveal our 2020 concept album?
Certainly. This year, Gramophone's concept album celebrates the chaconne, with its blend of music and voice, solo and ensemble. From the ground up, finds the Swedish-based ensemble Au Modernt and its director Hugo Ticciati, with guests Sam West and Baba Israel, creating a truly winning programme.
Behind every creation there are many wonderful people involved, and I'd like to begin by thanking Steve from Signum for trusting in this slightly mad project with many unknown variables, and of course the team at Signum for steering the ship home. The Au Modernt team are used to challenges, and in particular thanks to Louise Hughes, who embodied this project with such passion and encouragement. Nick Parker and Mike Hatch were a dream producing and editing team, and of course all the beautiful spirits and artists who made this album possible through their musicianship and through their openness and willingness to experiment and take risks. And for me it's a humbling joy to work with all these people and to take this receive this award from Gramophone. So thank you.
The man that hath no music in himself, nor is not moved with concord of sweet sounds, is fit for treasons, stratagems, and spoils. Let no such man be trusted.
This is improvisation like a jazz musician with the keys and the ignition with the sound of the division. We giving the music and choosing sound what we would do it and break it down all the way from the classical to the bluesmen, spreading the news and all we start to see. So we spread that music when I start to feel free. Hey yo, mark the music, now we spark the music.
We've one award to go, and it's the big one, Recording of the Year. From the 10 Recording Award winners, one is named to receive the Award of Awards. Normally we'd gather face to face for a morning of debate, but this year we came together on Zoom, critics from the UK, US, Germany and Denmark. And very soon a frontrunner seemed to be emerging.
For the past couple of weeks, musicians from the Orchestra of the Age of Enlightenment, one of Glyndebourne's resident ensembles, have been giving concerts here in the gardens at Glyndebourne. So, set to a movement from Beethoven's octet, played by members of the OAE, here's a quick recap of the 2020 award winners.
Now to reveal the recording of the year, Danielle Denise. Danny, welcome back to the awards. It's quite some years.
Yes, yeah, it's lovely to be back.
And how's it been singing again? Because you took part in the same Offenbach as Kate.
That's right. I mean, it was amazing. We're the lucky artists that were asked to participate due to also being local. And, you know, that was one of the restrictions of COVID, was that, you know, we couldn't fly singers in. And luckily, Kate lives 20 minutes away from here and I live 20 seconds away from here. So, yeah, it's been wonderful. And I think we all realized very quickly how fortunate we were to be given an opportunity to perform, because so many of our colleagues are just waiting for that moment when they would be asked back to the stage. And it's not only about making a livelihood, but it's our lifeblood. It really is what we live for and will die for, I think. You know, we'll die by the stage. And yeah, we're very, very lucky.
And now it's putting the singing to one side because it's motherhood.
That's right. Yes. Well, it all kind of happened at the same time, and it's a wonderful surprise that fell upon us during the COVID time. And as my husband continues to say, there's no better time to cook a baby than when you're not working, because obviously working mums and singers, you know, we know all about it. Kate and I both have children, and it's something like most working mothers you will balance, and of course, you know, it has its taxing moments, but it's wonderful and it's great. We're very excited.
Well, on with the show. Kate, the envelope.
Right. Well, the 2020 Gramophone Recording of the Year is Weinberg Symphonies number 2 and 21, played by the City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra and the Camerata Baltica with Guidon Kremer, conducted by Mirga Gražinytė-Tyla. It's a Deutsche Grammophon recording. Congratulations. Wow!
I have to confess that 7 years ago, I still hadn't heard the name Weinberg. During those years, he became one of the most important composers for me, the composer I would like to stay on my life long. I think in the days of the ideological search and loss we are living right now, Weinberg is standing as a symbol for humanism. His life and his work are huge inspiration. Every single score I've encountered so far by Mieczysław Weinberg is a masterwork. Words by Sándor V. come into my mind. He said once, "I don't make Mozart. Mozart does me." I would say the same about Weinberg. It's not that we or I am doing Weinberg. He is doing something with us. And this is the characteristics of a genius.
Congratulations to Mirga Gražinytė-Tyla, the City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra, Guidon Kremer, Camerata Baltica and Deutsche Grammophon. Gramophone's 2020 Recording of the Year. Huge thanks to Glyndebourne for playing host to us today. Thanks to all our sponsors, and particularly to our 3 partners, Apple Music, Gutzwiller et Compagnie, and our charity partner, Help Musicians UK. And many thanks to Gramophone's wonderful critics who devoted so many hours of the summer to listening to the competing recordings. And huge thanks to my co-host, Kate Lindsay. Now, Kate, you'll probably remember that our Artist of the Year was sponsored by Raymond Weil, the watchmakers, and they've asked me to pass on as a little thank you from us and them one of their watches.
Thank you so much. I'm really honored to be a part of this today, James. Thank you.
Thank you. To end, we've some music caught live just a few weeks ago at London's Wigmore Hall and played by our new Artist of the Year, Igor Levit. He won the Instrumental Award for his Sony classical set of the complete Beethoven piano sonatas. It's Beethoven year, so there's only one way to go.
It's been an absolute godsend to me in so many different ways. Practically, it's enabled me to pay my bills, to pay rent, to pay for food, you know, really, really basic things, but yet so vital in this time of crisis when we've had the rug pulled from underneath us.